Hello, welcome to my channel and welcome to my new subscribers. Thanks for subscribe. Today I'm going to try still with shells, but this time, unlike last time when I made a silicone mold, you see it, to cast resin or jesmonite and get resin shells, for example. This time it's kind of the opposite process. So I'm going to try to make inlays, yes, inlays, to insert into the resin or jesmonite to leave an print, a print. I've done it before with acrylic stamps, scrapbook stamps. I've done it with resin things or whatever. But now I'm going to try to make my own inlays with polymer clay. I've already made one to test. I saw this technique on Claire's Crafty Corner. You see now the test I've made before. And so I try to heed her advice, mistakes, etc. So I need Fimo clay, yes, Fimo clay or Sculpey, soft one. It saves your hands a bit. You see my Fimo clay, my Fimo paste. So cling film, shells, or any object, it's always the same principle. And then, well, I'll show you how I do it. I hope it it will be a success. Next, we'll have to cook these kinds of molds, but for now, I'm going to try to make a few. I'll show you one or two models. I'll make some more off camera. And then I'll put it all in the oven and we'll see how well it all works. I'm going to cross my finger. So let's go for it. I'm making a ball of paste of some thickness, since I'm going to have to push the object, my shell, to push my shell in as much as possible. So let's start with this one. So you have to push it all the way to the bottom. And I push. I hope I have enough paste thickness. Mm, mm, mm. I don't think so. I push, but no, I have not enough. My shell has pierced the paste. I'll have to need a little more paste. And as you may have noticed, I forgot the cling film. I forgot it in several attempts. I cut them off in the video because it was useless. Each time I had to remix my dough. Um, oh, no, I'm a fool. I'm a fool. I do have a past machine. I need to find it. It would save my hands and especially my shoulders. I put my cling film on well spread out so that it doesn't wrinkle, and I push my shell in as much as possible. I hope to have enough thickness this time. What's very important is to make a sort of wall around the object to prevent the silicone from escaping when you pour it. So you have to make the walls a little high, otherwise it can be disastrous. You see, with the cling film, I got my print right and was able to get my shell out with no problem. It's great. And now I'm going to cut the excess paste all around with a cookie cutter. Of course, you have to be careful not to pierce the paste, otherwise the silicone will run through. I am not, I don't know the word, a Fimoteuse at all. I used it a long time ago when I made something for my house. I use it to make my characters, but that's it. I'm definitely not a Fimo clay pro. So here is what it looks like. So a little reminder, the cling film to get your object out right. I'll do another one with you, then I'll do the others off camera. Otherwise, this video will go on for hours. Oh gosh, my cling film. Nothing to do. I have a head case right now. It's getting on my nerves. Um, uh, okay, my ball. I roll it, and then my cling film. The film, how did you see it? Does nothing to stop the print from being made. It takes all the details well. No worries. It's fabulous, by the way. You see here, I didn't put the cling film on, and it's much more complicated to remove the shell. We can do it, of course, but well, uh, besides, you might have to start again because you can damage the paste and the print. Here I'm going to do a few more off camera, so I'll see you in a second. And here are my little molds. Now they're going into the oven. I saw that Claire left them for 2 hours at 110 degrees Celsius. I'm going to do that since it seems to work well. I'll keep an eye on them so they don't burn. We'll see how it turns. See you in a second. I let my Fimo harden for 2 hours. It's recommended on the package of Fimo to leave 1 hour. I saw Claire and other polymerists leave their prints for 2 hours in the oven at 110 degrees Celsius. Like that, the past is very dry, very hard. I did this yesterday afternoon. I left it overnight and in the morning to make sure I didn't have any problems. Claire warned in a video that she had used the Fimo paste 2 hours after baking and she had problems. The silicone didn't cure. It never hardened. So you have to be sure that everything is cold, obviously, and that there is no residual moisture. Normally, it should be fine. So I will measure my silicone. I'm going to use Let's Resin silicone, which is in two parts, A and B. We measure by weight, not by volume. It's a 1-to-1 ratio, so very, very easy. You have a lot of instruction in the box, as always with Let's Resin. It's in English, but you can probably find a translation in your language on the internet. It's very well explained. So I mix my silicone and I see you in a second. My mix is ready. I tinted it with teal mica powder from Mrs. Colorberry. Yes, after all, there are seashells, so that this color is reminiscent of the sea, right? And now I'm going to pour. I'm keeping my fingers crossed that it doesn't spill out of my little molds. I hope my walls are high enough. Oh, this one will overflow. I didn't do the border right. You know, this border thing is really important. With some leftover paste, I made a kind of thing that you see on your screen. I don't know what it's going to do. It's supposed to be a grainy inlay. Mm, I'm going to make it thin. Um, we'll see. And I have a lot of silicone left again. I have this ugly Christmas ball. I'll see if it works. With the rest of my silicone, I made a mold of a little resin heart in a cookie cutter you see in the upper right of your screen. Well, now we'll leave it all night and see tomorrow if it's a success or not. Oh, it's sinking there too. We'll fix it and I'll put it to dry in the shelter. Here is the moment of truth. I'm going to start with this kind of thing. In any case, my silicone cured well. That's already a good thing. It leaked a little bit underneath, but it comes off very, very well on the Fimo. Let's see how it goes. Well, okay, I'll try it in resin or jesmonite. So here now, see this ball? Yes, yes, it has taken the print of my flake. It's a little thin, but hey, once I've trimmed around the burrs, why not? So come on, the shells. Uh, it's not too dry underneath. Curious. The rest looks perfectly hardened. So let's see if it works well. Yes, it's easy to unmold. And yes, I have a nice print. Yes, yes, yes. It works great. Yes, I'm happy. So come on, this one. Next, I'll have to trim with my cuticle cutter. You know, this is the tool we use for cuticles on our nails. It's super useful, especially for silicone. It's not expensive and very useful. Well, here it is, another nice inlay, my cool little shell, and I got all the details right. Yes, so here, and you can see that everything comes off great. My shell, after trimming all around, it will be perfect. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you that I let it dry overnight. About 5 or 6 hours after pouring, it felt pretty dry, but I prefer to wait all night. Again, a little cutting work. And this one, the same. Very good, very good. Yes. This one too. Perfect. Yes, all the details are in this inlay. So this one I call it Chinese art. I have not the right name. There's no much details on this shell. Maybe I should have been a little more careful with it, but not much relief. And here another perfect shell. Yes, I'm happy with that. Now I just have to try it all in resin or jesmonite. That will be the subject of a future video. I can't do it right now. Oh, I forgot that too. Since I had some silicone left over, I had poured it into this cookie cutter. These are pastry cutters. Well, obviously, you don't want to use them for cakes, even if they were well cleaned. I wouldn't be safe. So I had put some tape underneath to avoid silicone leaks, and it works. It works very well, like with the Let's Resin mold you can see in my previous video. Um, I push and I have my mold. I have a nice shiny earth mold since my little model is made of resin and it's so shiny. It makes me a little extra earth mold. I often use earth mold to finish my excess resin. Well, I'm happy with the results. And here are all my little things. Really happy with the results. It works perfectly. Obviously, all these molds are reusable, and it's great. I have the snowflake print of this ugly ball because it has a lot of air bubble. Also, there are poor quality molds. They have traces on the inside. But anyway, I'm really happy because it works well. So, this is one more little experiment. Now I've just to use them. I have several little ideas. So see you soon for new adventures. I have a picture at the end. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so, and don't forget the little thumbs up. It helps a lot my channel. See you soon. Take care of yourself. Bye.